Michele Porto Freire was born in Rio de Janeiro in Brazil in 1974 and has had childhood experiences with the paranormal, with extraterrestrials, UFOs. She was involved in a MILAB operations after she arrived in the United States. She was involved in a secret space program where she was used and taken to Mars. And she discovered in 2022 that she was a galactic envoy with a husband on one of the ships belonging to the Galactic Federation of Worlds.
You're listening to Exopolitics Today with Dr. Michael Salla, your source for the uncensored truth regarding the human, extraterrestrial, global, and political agenda. Click the like button and subscribe to this channel. And now, here's Dr. Michael Salla.
Well, welcome, Michele, to the show. Glad to have you here.
Thank you for having me. It's an honor to be here. I'm a little nervous.
Well, that's fine. I mean, I do like to try and look at a person's experiences starting in childhood, and then we can kind of like make sense of what's going or what has been happening. And in your case, most people watching this probably don't know anything about you. So why don't we start from the beginning? That you were born and raised for the first 11 years of your life in Rio de Janeiro. So, what happened in those formative years concerning UFOs, paranormal, and any other strange things?
Most of those years, the strange things, I started connecting the dots. I blocked a lot of it. A lot of my childhood was blocked by me, mostly. Kind of gaslighting myself from all the trauma. And the things that happened that I remember were later in life. But my childhood, I'm getting in contact with it now and remembering more things. And working with Erica, she has helped me a lot in showing her what she went through. It just triggered a lot of my childhood memories and what would happen to me, like waking up all over in the bed, on the floor, with my head on the footboard of the bed or on the floor halfway through the bed. And I'm the type of person later in life, I sleep on one side of the bed. I only move like once or twice during the night. I don't move around. So that triggered me when she said they would just drop you any kind of way. And I believe that I was taken at night as a child. I was very afraid I would have the same repetitive nightmares. As a child, it kind of looked like a cartoon that I was always being chased and up a hill into a cave by this big bear. And whenever the bear got close to this little hut that I would hide in, I would forget everything or just wake up every single night. And I would wake up all over the bed, off on the floor. And I've had feelings that something was wrong. My grandmother would see my bedroom door opening and closing by itself. She saw it once, and later in life, she heard footsteps. So things were happening in the house, especially to me. And I'm just remembering and putting together the dots now because I blocked myself so much. So I'm just opening up to that part of myself now. Later in life is what I know most of what happened later in life here to find out that I had my partner upstairs, my husband. He's here right now, just as nervous as me. Anxious because they're not, and they're just like us. They don't want to be, they're not different than us. They have their problems, anxieties, they have the same things. So he's here to help keep me strong because I'm not great in public speak. I'm not a great public speaker. So
No, you're doing fine. You're doing fine. Okay, so you suspect that as a child that you were involved in abductions.
Right.
And you've been working with Erica Amoreena, and that's kind of triggered your memories. And of course, Erica describes being abducted by grey aliens. So do you remember grey aliens at all?
I don't remember them yet. I don't. I remember just the dreams, waking up in weird situations. I remember the feeling of always being chased, afraid, and not know why, because I guess I blocked everything. I gaslit myself. I was gaslighting myself. I didn't need anybody to gaslight me. I did it. But I think it's because of the trauma. I was born in 74 and lived in Rio until I was 11 years old, until 1986. That's when I moved to the US. And
Now,
parts of my yes, go ahead.
well, before you moved to the US in 1986, you were at a Catholic school in
Yes.
Rio, and you said that there was something going on there and that you were targeted. So why did they target you, and what happened?
From what I understand, there was an American, I don't know, I think he was involved in this too, but there was an American, very rich person involved in recruiting children. And I think there were 9 children that were recruited into this astronaut something. They were chosen, and I was one of them. Now, with the school, I think there is a connection. I'm not too sure if there's a connection to him, but with the school, it was a very traditional Catholic school that I was in from kindergarten until I think second or third grade. I think second grade, I was in that school. And there was ritualistic satanic abuse, um, sexual and I remember as a child being afraid to go to the bathroom. I had lots of urinary tract infections because I was so afraid to go to the bathroom. I'd rather pee myself than go to the bathroom in this school. And
So can you explain, or was there any connection between you being chosen for this kind of like rich American astronaut
yeah,
school with 11 kids and the SRA that you encountered at that school?
I believe there could be a connection with that. That's what I need to remember more. But me and Erica were working together on my memories from childhood because I have a lot of blanks. But
Mhm.
so I'm trying to connect the dots. And the childhood abuse I know happened, that I know for sure, because as a child, as an adult, you know how the child acts. And I was very drugged too. They would drug us. So that helped with me not remembering some things also. The trauma plus all the drugs. At some point, my heart stopped. So that's when I think my husband saved me when I was a child. When in one of these occasions, my heart stopped from so many drugs, and he saved. But at the school, the rituals were dark, were more Satanist type rituals. They would abuse the children. They would watch the children do sexual acts with the other children. And they would watch, they would abuse, they would say horrible things like you're ugly, you're worthless, making you feel really breaking you. So I believe with this American guy had something to do with it because I guess they start early breaking the children so they can be submissive and work for them, I guess. And I was very mouthy. I was pretty, yeah, I would not. My grandmother, bless her soul, she would
Yeah.
tell that I had a strong personality. I wasn't naughty. I wasn't, but I just had a strong personality. So I believe, yeah, I would talk back. I would not accept certain things. So maybe that's why I got hit so hard with the drugs and with the breaking down.
Mhm. Well, it kind of like it does make sense. I mean, at first hand, it kind of seems contradictory. Like, why
Yeah.
would you pick children who are talented and stand out above the others and say, okay, you got the talent or some qualities that equip you to be like a part of this elite astronaut training of a small number of people, but then subject you to ritual abuse to break you. So why, that's the question a lot of people have. Why would they choose children for talented programs and then try and break them in some way? And I think the answer might be that that when they people who are working in these black projects, they're looking with children with the right frequency and the right consciousness to be able to access and use ancient technologies, but they try and break them so that they can control them.
Yeah, it's all about control. And I believe with me is that they probably knew I was an envoy, and they knew of psychic abilities that I've always had. It runs in the family.
Can you describe those psychic abilities you've had and that run in the family?
The running in the family is, but my family being very religious, they would just block it. My grandmother, on my mother's side, especially, she as a child, she would see things, almost like a crystal ball. She would do it like she would have a glass of water. She would see movies, things going by. For her in her head, it was like she was seeing people, things happening, talking about that life that's going on. She would see it completely cleared. But then as a child, she heard people saying, "Oh, demonic, religion, everything is demonic. Everything that they don't understand, it's evil." And as a child, she's a smart child. She started hearing the adults saying it, whispering about it, and she blocked it. But she always saw things, she would hear, she would still feel, and especially she had a healing ability, which that's the first thing that I came in touch with myself was healing, that I can heal, that I can take the pain away. I did that with Erica, and that's how I found out for sure that I had this ability. I always wondered. And so before Erica did the surgery and she was in a lot of pain, and I was talking to her and I was like, "Can I help you with it? Try." And I barely connected. I just closed my eyes and we connected right away, and I pulled her pain.
Oh, wow.
And it was that's when, and then we started connecting more and more, and now we're like close friends, and for her she's a sister to me. And so I was also as a child, we were, I believe we would have seen each other in passing, but as a child, when I was 3 years old, I was also in Langley, where she was. I was taken to Langley, Virginia. I think it's near New Jersey, where she was taken to the underground. She was in the
I'm
same
sorry. Could you back up there? You were taken to Langley.
Langley when I was 3.
Oh, because you pronounce it, because when I heard Langley, which is the CIA headquarters in Virginia.
I think it is. That's what she said. It's the same as her. Yeah, Langley,
Yeah,
Virginia.
Langley's the CIA headquarters
3
in
years old.
Virginia. So 3 years old, you were taken there from Rio.
Yeah, I with the abductions, I was taken there.
Okay.
And
Wow. Okay.
I think it's for the psychic abilities or to do with this millionaire entrepreneur that was working with, I believe, with the ETs to
And what do you remember about that experience being taken to Langley?
that I don't. I haven't remembered much on that.
I see.
Yeah,
So
those are
that's what you were told.
repressed, completely repressed.
Okay.
And
You were
Erica,
told that by Erica then. I see. Okay.
this one was Erica. What I remember was, in bed, waking up and sleepwalking. I would sleepwalk a lot, and I just connected all the dots. And also the abuse. The abuse, I remember certain aspects of the abuse in that school. And I remember a little boy that was abused with me. He was like my little boyfriend. It was a little blonde little boy, and I remember many things, but they're fragmented. I guess because it was a child and so drugged up and so hurt, or didn't understand. I don't think a child understands exactly what's going on with them when these adults that you're supposed to trust are abusing you in ways that you don't understand. As a
Mhm.
child, 3-year-old that was in school. I think I was 3, 4. Yeah, I went to that school. I think I was 3.5, something like that.
Okay, now in 1986, your family emigrates to the United States, and you arrive in Connecticut,
In
and
Connecticut.
so you're 11 years old. So when did this MILAB experience begin, or when did that happen?
I believe one memory I have was when I was a freshman in high school that they pulled me from class with another boy to have a test. They didn't say what it was, and I was very rebellious, mouthy me, always. And I thought, oh my gosh, what did I do? Did I get detention? Are they gonna, I got in trouble. They just pulled me from class, didn't let me know, and put me in this room with a partition. There was someone in the corner. There was another man that I didn't know on the other side of the partition. And the person that brought me over said that they were going to do an audio test. And so when they did the audio test, I remember putting the headphones on, and you would hear, they said you will hear the beep on one side, beep on the other. You got to raise your hand where you're hearing it. And all I remember is hearing like maybe 1 or 2 beeps, and then it is blank. I don't remember anything after that. I don't remember even walking back to class. I remember later that day talking to my friends about the audio test and asking them if they had it. And they were like, no, I didn't. Nobody heard of it. So I just never thought anything of it until now, later in life. Oh, I'm freezing. Later in life, that I put the dots together that this is very strange. And then I remembered people talking about MILABs and how some people would go to the nurses, or some people would have audio tests also, and that's when they got taken into the program. So I believe that's the first time I got MILAB.
Okay, and you were 14 at that time.
I was, yeah, 14. Yeah, about 14,
I
14,
see.
15.
Okay, so when did this, I think you described it as a Tenenback. When did you begin that?
That was when I was a child. That was before. I was the mouthy child, and I would talk back, and they didn't like that. You can't talk back. And I would talk back, I would argue. So what they did is they put me just carrying stones in the moon. So supposedly, mostly I was just carrying stones back and forth in the moon. It was punishment. It was to break me down. You're mouthy. You're talking back. You're arguing about things. Here you go. This is what you're gonna do for like years. And I guess I did that for years. And then I also worked in some office with a gray overseeing me. So like
So,
just filing stuff, very basic.
so this happened before you went to the US, and you were sent. You were put into this Tenenback program, and
Yeah,
it sounds like you were put in there as a punishment for being mouthy.
mouthy. I
Right.
always was mouthy. So, and
Okay.
I'm not good with authority. I'm not till today.
And so what do you recall about that Tenenback? I mean, was it like an unbroken period of time where, you
It's
know,
a very little. It's the all of my childhood and all of that part is so blocked in me. That's what I'm working on unblocking. So I have just bits and pieces. It's fragmented.
I
So
see.
again, it's trying to make sense of these fragmented things in my mind, visions, dreams, and trying to put it together.
Now, so you worked as a slave on the moon or Mars?
On the moon. Mars, I think this was later in life. That's what I'm trying to figure out. I'm not too sure. I think it's later in life. That maybe happened when I was a teen, the Mars one. I'm not too sure about that. That's what I need to, focus and see. This is stuff I'm just coming to now, because what I know is my adulthood, what happened after all my contacts. But my childhood, I'm still trying to put it together exactly when, how, and put all the images together and try to put it in order. But Mars, I was a fighter pilot. Yeah. Black
Okay.
hard armor.
Can you describe the kind of planes or the craft that you flew?
No, not yet. I'm hoping that I can unblock these these memories. They're
I
very
see.
deep in there.
Okay, so how did you know you were a fighter pilot on Mars?
Fragmented images, and me and Erica, going back to that, we were talking, and she was reading me, and then I would put together. She was like, black armor, and I remember black armor. I remember a dream with black armor. So when she was saying things, was like, I'm putting it together. Okay, so this was Mars. That's what that dream was about, was Mars. And always wanting to fly. This is something, oh, that's me since I was early age child.
Mm-hmm. I see.
So always, my dream was always be a pilot. I was always going to be up in the stars, and like life happens. That didn't happen. Well, it did, but not in the way
Okay.
I wanted.
All right. Now you mentioned a gray alien trying to help you, and you also mentioned a Navy guy trying to help you at some point.
Yeah, at some point, because we're looking at more we see a lot in the astral, me, Erica, and we have a whole group of other people, and we try to do healing, we try to help in the astral. And I got together with Erica, and I wanted to fill in these blanks about my childhood, the parts that I don't understand till today. I'm just getting to now. And we came to, there was a gray attached to me that I didn't know. And this gray was lost. He says he wanted to help, but you can't really trust him. And and there was also this big Navy guy in Navy uniform. And he was also attached. He felt bad. He was one of the people that trained me as a child, I guess, or a teen, to be a fighter pilot. And he
Interesting.
had a lot of guilt. And that's more in the spiritual side. We had to cross him over. I said I forgive him and that kind of stuff. So that goes more into this, spiritual. But the astral is all connected. Once we realize that everything is connected, it's just different dimensions. It makes it easier
Hmm.
to understand how, the dead aren't dead. They're just different dimension, and so on. But yeah, he was one of the ones that supposedly trained me, and he was very guilty, and he was trying to help me in life.
I see. I see. So he was presumably part of this secret space
Yeah,
program to train
train
children
children.
for whatever tasks that were assigned to them.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I guess during this time as a pilot, that was basically your main thing, to just be a fighter pilot and to be
Mhm.
trained in whatever technologies they required.
Yeah.
Mhm. Okay. Now, you also recall being taken up on a reptilian ship and being strapped to a table. So, yeah, what do you remember of that incident?
The table?
Well, being taken up on a reptilian ship.
Oh, yeah. No, that was recent. That was adult. This happened recently.
Oh, I see. I
That
see.
was the adult abduction that happened, that a mimic pretended to be my husband, and I fell for it. So I opened myself to that, and they took me up.
Okay, so
And that
um,
was reptilian, maybe hybrids, I'm not sure. There were some Nordics also, but it was, yeah, it was, I was abused. I think
Okay.
mostly to get to me and to get to the people that I work with.
Okay. So a mimic, we're talking about someone that can shapeshift essentially to make it look like they are someone else,
Yeah,
like your Pleiadian or
it
your
was a reptilian.
husband. Okay, but it was
Mhm.
really a reptilian.
Pretending to be my husband. And I didn't check. I was kind of half asleep. You know, when you wake up at night and I
Hmm.
thought it was him, and I was like, "Oh, you seem mad." I'm like, "Jor'a, why are you mad? You seem angry." I felt the energy, but I didn't, I just thought he was angry at something, something happened upstairs or something. So I just let it in. And next thing I know, before I wake up, I felt what they were doing to me. And I woke up and I talked to some people because I was very confused. I'm like, "But wasn't it Jor'a? What was going on?" Jora''s my husband, by the way. And but I don't understand because it was dark, it was weird, it was something strange. And then talking to other people, they're like, "No, that wasn't him. Check to see if it was him." And then I started checking, and then we came to that I was taken by some reptilians, and they abused me. It's their typical thing, I guess. I think they just want to make you feel horrible. They want to make you feel guilty, or they want to make you feel like you're less, you're just, an object.
Okay, so why don't you tell us more about Joran, your uh, uh, your I guess he's Tal, right? He's a Tal
Yes.
Pleiadian. Yeah, so tell us about him and how you found out about him being your Tal partner.
Well, since I was a child, there were not child, but like I remember two incidents. The first incident was when I was in my 20s in a bad relationship. And so I was sleeping in bed, and all of a sudden I woke up in the middle of the night, and there was this dark. He's very big. He's a very big man. There was a dark figure on the foot of my bed late at night, just sitting there. And I got scared because I didn't understand what it was. I was a Christian back then, a born again Christian. So I was like, "Oh no, in the name of Jesus." And I woke up with that. And then later, I was going through depression around the same age almost. I think it was 23. I was going through depression, and I was in between jobs, and I didn't want to wake up. I was sleeping all day. And I heard a clear, strong male voice say, "This ends now." And I woke up with this voice waking me up. And when I woke up, I was energized. I was happy again. And I went to look for a job. I was like cleaning my house, take a shower, let me look for a job. It was like all the depression was gone. Those were the first incidents that I remember in adulthood. But one that happened here when I'm back in Brazil I've been here for since 2002. And I live in the rural area of Brazil. Nobody around, on top of a hill. It's just my family's little piece of land. And I was sitting on the porch, and I was very down. Something had happened. I was very depressed and crying. And I was sitting on the porch on my hammock, my favorite place. And all of a sudden, I feel this, I see in my mind this image of a man with long dark hair. I didn't see his face too clearly. It was very fast. But what stayed with me was this immense type of love, the kind of love that you can only dream of, like what happened. I just felt this strong love hit me. It hit me like crazy. And I was like, "What was that?" And I got alert, and then it was done. Like the image was gone. I was almost like, "Come back, image. What is that? I want to understand." It was this amazing love that I felt. And then later, he showed up a couple of years later in my dream, talking to me. I wasn't taking care of myself. I wasn't eating right. I was drinking a lot. Like a lot of us, we become hermits. We can sometimes be turn to alcohol, or just doing excessive things, because those are the things that nurture you, because you're so depressed, you're so alone. And he was kind of like, you know, what are you doing to your life? He was admonishing me. And I thought that was strange. I was like, wow, who is he? I like him. I mean, he was kind of mad at me, but I like him. And from then on, started happening more and more. I started seeing the ships. He would music. I would be listening to certain songs, and a song would come on that was our song, and he would the speakers would start getting fuzzy, you know, like start playing with the speakers when that song was on, only when that song was on, or a certain song he wanted that meant something to us. So he's here. He's here. He's been here since yesterday, since last night. I guess he took some time off because he knew this was important for me and that I get nervous about speaking about it. But it, he knows this is an honor. It's an honor for him too. And I think more of us need to speak up about this because there are many envoys just like me that have gone through abuse. But then we have the fun part. We have our counterparts. We have husbands, wives, we have families that are watching out for us. And sometimes we're so alone down here, but they are watching out for us. They are trying to help. It's there was the whole betrayal upstairs too. What happened down here happened upstairs. They didn't know exactly what was happening to some of us and to most of us, you know. But I've been happy. I'm hopeful now. I'm hoping things are moving forward.
So can you explain? I mean, you said that he's there with you now and he's taken the day off. So when you say that, I mean, what? I mean, you can see his astral body
I
and you
feel
can.
him more. I feel him more, and I can see him in my mind, but I don't see as clearly yet. I'm working on that. That's part of my block is not seeing, but I feel, I hear, and I see him, but I see him slightly like in my mind. If I close my eyes, I can kind of see his shadow where he's at, or I can feel when he's right beside me, and I think he is kind of, you know, he's curious, so he's kind of like watching, leaning in. So but most of us, it depends. Like some people can see more clearly, like Andrea, she sees clearly. She sees Andrea Martin, she sees
Mhm.
her husband clearly.
Right.
Erica, she's starting to see better now. And but I think at first it was the same as me. She felt more or saw more in her mind. She sees it more in her mind. So it's different for each one of us, but the feeling never stops. The feeling is always the same. You know when it's someone you love, someone that cares about you and is trying to help you. And for them it's just as hard. They're watching us here
Mhm.
suffering that I don't think they even imagine it could be close. You know what I found out is that my contract down here, me and him, I was supposed to be here for a very short time. And what happened is that time became longer because of all the betrayal, everything that happened. It was a bunch of lies. So I'm here longer. And I found out I have a daughter and I'm missing out a lot on her life because it was supposed to be a small stay. I was supposed to have a short life here. It was supposed to be something very short, something we had to work on, help, and be out. And this has gone on uh,
Okay,
way.
can you maybe explain this betrayal? You've mentioned it a couple of times, and people probably want to know that what? So people that are working with the Galactic Federation, their personnel, were told that the envoys were fine, they were okay, but in fact, they were being
That we
abused.
weren't ready yet, that we didn't do what we were supposed to do, that we weren't ready, things weren't right, they had to wait and wait. And for us down here, the same thing happened. Things were moving forward. And then in late 2021 and 2022, things started going backwards here. They stopped. It's almost like the white hats were kind of infiltrated. So there was betrayal down here. But the same thing happened up there. A little bit later, they found out they had betrayers up there working with the dark forces down here. So they were working in kind of procrastinating everything because, of course, they were into everything's about money. It's they were into the enslavement of people, the child trafficking, human trafficking. The same that happened here happens off world. So they get taken off world too. A lot of the child trafficking, it's not just for Earth, it's going out. It's not just child. A lot of women that are trafficked, men also. The human trafficking is a very lucrative
Right.
job. And I guess the people upstairs were working with these people down here and kind of like feeding the people upstairs the wrong information so things it could take longer. Oh no, they're not ready. Earth is not ready. They're still not, they didn't achieve the amount of people that need to be woken up. They didn't, always like saying something that we were not ready. We were more than ready. We were started to move forward. And then the betrayal happened down here. And then afterwards, I felt my husband when he found out the betrayal. I was already very depressed because I felt there was a big betrayal here in the white hats of everything that happened down here.
And that betrayal, was that kind of along the lines of what Andrea Martin described, where the suffering of humanity was like a secondary consideration for the leaders of the Galactic Federation?
I believe it was not to that extent. I believe it was to the ones that were evil, that were up there working with the ones down here. But most of the people up there now are just as pissed off because they didn't know, they believed. And there people say, "Oh, they're telepathic." Yes, but all of them are. So they know how to deceive each other. They can be deceived. Then they're not gods. They're not these superior beings. They're like us. So there are evil people, and these people were corrupted, and they lied. They fed them wrong information of what was going on down here.
Mm-hmm.
So I believe when they were found out, which they were, Erica's husband is also like a big brother to me. We just found out, not blood. We're not blood, but we're the family we chose up there. So he's a big brother. He calls me Little Bird. He's very sweet. He's a sweet man. And when they found out, so many people were arrested up there. These people have been removed. So things are moving forward. We're past that now. Now we're trying to get things together down here because they're getting it together upstairs. These betrayers were all arrested. I mean, they might find one or two because, can't be sure 100%. We don't know what happens. But so far, what they got is the people up there, they're working, they're healing, they're working extra hard. And they actually had people sign up for the job because the story went around to other planets. So other races are signing up for the Galactic Federation to help because they're so pissed off at what was done, how they were lied to. We were lied to, and they were lied to. So it became this whole like everyone is pissed. People are volunteering to work. So they're training people up there. And I think things are getting smoother now because they're past this process of training. And that's why things seem to be moving forward here, down here. You can tell down here, things are starting to change also. So I believe we're hopefully, I hope, things are moving forward with that.
Okay, so there's kind of like this mirror relationship in a way between the Galactic Federation and Earth and humanity.
Exactly. Like the white hats down here and black hats, the same thing happened up there. It's the same thing. And they took down these people some of them were in charge. Some of them had big roles up there, and they were arrested or ran away. Some of them did escape and run away because they ran from punishment. They didn't want to be arrested.
Okay. Now you've actually been up on the ships as well, right? Where the Galactic Federation personnel are, and you saw your partner up there. So you want to tell us about that?
Yeah, it's a bit fragmented when I remember because my vision's not that clear. Like I can feel and see things and but not almost fuzzy. You know, when you see things kind of like in a weird fuzzy dream. That's how I
Mhm.
see it. And I've been there. Actually, they take me up a lot for healing. Um Sometimes to just be with him. I would be with him and then also be briefed um, on things that I can't even know because then I forget. I guess I get mind wiped because it's something I can't know because I'm briefed about things that I'm supposed to do here or they're working on and I can't know because it'll be a danger to myself and to the mission. But what I remember mostly with my partner that we would take time together, you know, because the things that I can remember that I should remember, it's just mostly us. More the romance and, you know, talking, being together. And I think
So how were you taken up?
well, usually it's funny. I'm a very anxious person. And he wants me to always fall asleep because I'm anxious and I get excited. I'm super excited about things, you know. And up there, I guess I get like that too. There was even an incident that Erica was up on a ship that was her ship up there. And she was so excited about it with Jay, with her husband. And she was like, beam Michelle up. Michelle would like this. She would love this. So they did. And I was sleeping down here. And she said that when I went up, I was so happy and so excited that I went to run ahead. And when I went to run ahead, I tripped, like my legs did just felt like jello. And I fell on my knee and hit my left knee. And they picked me up. And then, no, I guess she better go down, you know, put her back downstairs. And I did, and that morning, I woke up with my knee hurting. It was hurting so bad. I was like, "What's going on? Is it the cold weather?" It's winter here in Brazil. So I was like, "Is it the cold weather? My knee's acting up. What pain." And later on that day, I'm talking to Erica, and she was telling me the incident, and I was like, "Wait a minute, is that why my knee was hurting? I fell? And what knee did I hit on the ground?" And she was like, "Your left knee. You fell on your left knee, and then you fell." And I was like, "That's the knee that I woke up that was hurting like crazy." And I still have a bruise on it till today. I hit it hard.
Right.
And this was like about a month ago, I think. And it's still bruised.
Okay, well that's cool that you remember being up on the ship and seeing
Yeah.
Erica and she's seeing you and
Yeah.
describing, so that's kind of important corroboration. Now, I assume you and Erica, you could have been there. Were you? I mean, when they took you up there as a kind of surprise, was it like they took you physically from you were sleeping
Physically,
in
that
bed?
was physically. Yeah,
I
most
see.
of the times it's in the astral, like we get taken in the astral. But sometimes we have been taken physically. I've been taken physically a couple of times. I don't remember much, but I do remember the feeling afterwards in my body when I come down. I feel very cold and
Mhm.
it's a strange feeling when you go up too. So he always wants me to fall asleep. But then if I know, I'm like, am I going up? Are you getting me up on the ship? And then I get more anxious. And then I don't fall asleep because then I'm anxious. And then he's waiting, you know, but they're patient. But he's waiting and I can feel he's just like, when are you gonna fall asleep? Please just sleep. And I don't because then I get anxious. Oh no, you're gonna take me up. I can't fall asleep now. So I turn to one side, to another side. But it's funny. It's like as soon as I fall asleep, I get taken up when when he's waiting. It's almost like he's impatient, like, okay, she finally did it. Oh, up.
Mhm.
And I think it's mostly for healing. I think most of it's healing. We have a lot of trauma in our bodies, minds, a lot of implants, chips, and they've been, I think, removing a lot of it. I know I have one that they couldn't remove that they use. They just redirected it or deactivated it. The word that I woke up with in my mind when I woke up was like that it could cause me something like cerebral palsy if it got taken out. They couldn't remove it. There's one that they can't. I've had I woke up with a little incision kind of, I think was on my belly near my hip one time. So I'm not sure about that one. And before that, I got taken by, of course, evil ones. And I throughout my life, I woke up with blood on the inside of my arm down here.
Oh
Dry blood.
wow.
And this was what, like 4 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago. I woke up to go to the bathroom, when you're in your 50s or close. This was 4 years ago. So I was close to my 50s. And so you have to go to the bathroom at night. So I go to the bathroom, and when I lifted my arm to just put my hair back, and I saw the inside, there were two huge blotches of dry blood. So we've had implants, they messed with us a lot, and I think it takes time to heal and to see everything they did to us because they are still kind of messing with us.
Hmm.
Erica, look at Erica. Or Erica is still her healing because of what they did to her tooth, putting that implant here to just make her sick. It's just they've messed so much with all of us.
Hmm. Now, when you go up on the ships physically or astrally, you've mentioned that you can remember the astral experiences better.
Yeah.
Do you want to explain, how, what's the difference there?
I think in the astral, I don't think there's much of the trauma that my body has. So maybe I don't remember in the physical because my body is kind of keeping me protected, not remembering. That's what I'm forcing these memories back because I think I need to heal from that. The
Mhm.
Some of the things I've been remembering are very horrible. So I can see why my body blocked. So when I get taken physically, I think because of this block I have in my physical body, it's hard for me to remember. In the astral, it's something that we played with. All of us that have some psychic abilities since we were kids, we're always playing in the astral. We think it's imagination and we go into these different places. I would go to a different planet. I would go to above Earth. I would try to like see things. And we've always played with that. So it's easier for us that have played with this to be in the astral and to remember. I
Mhm.
don't see very clearly. I see fuzzy when I remember the astral, but I remember what happened. I
I see.
remember, oh, I was talking to so and so. Oh, I met so and so. Oh, I was, you know what I mean? But it's not clear image. But I remember what happened. On my
Okay.
physical, it's very hard to remember.
So whether you go up on these ships physically or astrally, you're still uh, participating in or witnessing a kind of shared reality. It's not like a make believe. It's not like, you're subconsciously creating something and experiencing that the astral
Yeah.
experiences you have are like, if you see Erica up there or you see your partner up there, these are that could be physical, even though you're up there astrally.
Yeah, I was very doubtful. I'm a very doubtful person. I have to have more proof to understand. I would think like, no, this has to be my imagination. No, but then I would talk to, that's why they didn't want envoys to talk to each other because we would always be doubting. No, there's no proof. But then when I started talking to Erica, I talked to Andrea. Andrea introduced us. That's how I met Erica. And Erica's like a sister to me. And we became friends like this. It's almost like we knew each other for so long, for ages. And we just met the beginning of this year. and it feels like I known her for lifetimes. It's and I meet and talk to other envoys that have gotten in contact with me, and we validate one another. Like some of us have seen, I talk to certain groups, and some people don't want to be seen, but they're in the group, and she'll say, "No, I saw you upstairs. We were talking. Our husbands were hanging out. We were just relaxing." And she would say things that, only I would know, or she would know. It's not something that can be guessed. We kind of validate one another and kind of activate one another. So when we're having doubts, I'll say something, "Wow, I had the weirdest dream." And I'll talk to Erica about it. And then she was like, "Wait a minute, but I had this happen and that happened just last night too." And it validates what we're experiencing. So then we become more in touch with our true selves. We stop doubting. We stop thinking, "Oh, this is imagination." It can't be.
That's
Because
very
how can
important.
we all imagine the same thing? We can't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very important to point that out.
Mhm.
Now, you have seen uh, Andrea's husband, Ika.
I've seen him in the astral. I talked to him a couple of times, not too much. I do see him. He's very sweet. He is like sunshine. That's what most people say. He's like sunshine. He's just we get around. He has epic hair. His hair is beautiful, and he's like this sunny personality. He's just
Mhm.
the sweetest man. He's just very sweet, very sweet.
Okay, okay. Now, your partner, your husband on the ships. Oh, actually, well, when we're talking about the ships, do you ever remember the names of the ships and how are they shaped? I mean, what do they look like?
I see bits and pieces like that fuzzy, like I'll see the rooms and places, hallway. I see the window, like I think it's a point of view that they have that they can see down out in space. It's like a viewpoint. And some of them talked about this. So when I talked to them about it, they talked, "Oh, it's a viewpoint that they have over there that you can see." So others have been to the same place. And I seen my husband's quarters, but fuzzy, but and just walking hallways. I don't see the outside of the ship. I don't I don't have very clear vision. That's why I want to work on these repressed memories from my childhood, because I think when I release that, I'll be able to see clearer. I'll stop this block that I have.
Hmm.
But it's going to be tough, but I think we've been through worse, so I need to remember. We got to be tough.
Right. Now, with Joran, your husband upstairs, he you've met him on the ship several times now. What about him being stationed at Cheyenne Mountain or moving there? What do you know of that?
He was there. It was one time, he can show me things through his eyes. And a lot of times I see sometimes things through his eyes. I've seen him on, I think, tunnels. A couple of years ago, I saw him. I thought it was interesting because I was all of a sudden, I was tall and I was wearing armor and I was a huge guy, muscular. And that was in the tunnels. I've seen some other things. And this one was a dream. I was sleeping, and in the astral, he came to me clearly. And that's when I saw him clear, clear, clear as day. His eyes, his eye color. He has these very beautiful, penetrating blue eyes and dark hair. And his hair was short this time, I guess, because he was working with the military down here. He's not anymore, but he was. His hair is growing out and everything. And we were looking into, it was like I was in a room with him, and there was a window, and I was looking out, and it was these red sandstones and kind of weird shaped. And near Cheyenne Mountain, there are some red sandstones. And we were looking out the window. I was even asking him what's going to happen to this world. This was earlier this year. I was, we were kind of down with everything that was happening. And I remember perfectly and clearly seeing him and then looking out this window and seeing the shapes of the sandstones near Cheyenne Mountain. So I know he was close. He was there physically. I don't know what he was doing, but he wanted me to see that. This was earlier this year. So he wanted me to see for a reason. I still don't know exactly what. Maybe to just prove that he was in Cheyenne Mountain.
So is this something that happens often, that you can see through his eyes what's going on?
I saw one lately. I don't know if I should share exactly, but it was some ancient ruins, and it looks like it was either, I'm not going to say location, but it looked like it could be like southwest USA or northern Mexico. But it was ancient ruins, and I saw clear as day through his eyes. And I knew it's through his eyes now. I talked to friends, and that's why when we talk to each other, she was like, weren't you seeing it through his eyes? Because the image is too clear. You don't see that clear. And then I was like, oh yeah, it's just like when I see through his eyes, it's super clear. It's better than 20/20 vision. I had 20/20 vision when I was young, so I know it's better than that. It's so clear and crisp, like the image, it's seen through his eyes. And I could see this mountain range, and I could see ruins, and I could see the abandoned gas station and the dirt road and the cars that were abandoned in the entrance of this dirt road. And it was just clear as day. So that was something he was doing. I think it was a mission.
Mm-hmm.
And he showed it to me. They have their reasons. We end up finding out the reasons later,
Right.
We try to analyze it. Like, why did he show me that? And then talking to each other. That's why it's good to have other envoys and you talk to, and we can, like share something that happened to another envoy that was like it, and he was showing it for certain reasons. So we talk to each other, and we can make sense out of these things that sometimes alone we can't. I would never thought that I was seeing through his eyes until Andrea mentioned how she saw through Ika's eyes. And I was like, that's what that dream was about. I was a tall, muscular man in armor. And,
I see.
yeah.
Oh, that's fascinating. So when that happens, I mean, do you get some kind of telepathic communication from him first saying, I'm going to allow you to see what I'm seeing, or does it just
No,
like you
just happens.
just happens? Interesting.
Just shows it.
But does he communicate with you telepathically afterwards?
Not about that. No, we talk otherwise. I think they want us to figure out things. I think they want us to get in contact with ourselves and understand things for ourselves. Because I think they know that when we're up there, we came here for a reason, and that if they let us know, we would kind of get angry at them, because the reason was that we're here to learn certain things. And I think we would be angry. You didn't let me learn that. I was there to learn that for myself. I think that's just like me. I think that's one of the reasons. And some reasons is they want to push us, to make us see things, to open our minds to different experiences.
Now, you say that your partner, Joran, is a Tal, and you're a Hell, that you incarnated from some planet occupied or populated by a Hell people, and that your mother came and visited you and actually, I guess, connected with you. So is she also part of the Envoy program, or
No, she's
explain?
She's back home, I think. I think what she did, this was years ago when I was waking up, this was before the pandemic, and I was looking into Pleiadians. It was the first time I came across an article about Pleiadians, and it was already, I hadn't slept all night reading it on my my on my tablet. And I was trying to fall asleep reading it. And I share a home, me and my mom, my elderly mom, we share a home. And she was having friends over. And so they were talking in the living room, and I could hear them talking. And I was reading my tablet about the Pleiadians and kind of falling asleep, but hearing their voices far away. And as I fell asleep, I guess, I heard somebody knocking on the glass door to my bedroom. It's a glass door that goes to the porch, to the yard. And I got up and opened it. But to me, I wasn't dreaming. To me, it was real. I got up, opened the door, and there's this tall blonde woman, very tall. I think she must have been like 6 foot, 6'1", something. Tall blonde woman, blonde hair, wavy hair down to here. It wasn't too long. And she was smiling at me. She was just so happy and smiley. She had this beautiful smile. And I was like, "Oh, so you must be here to see my mom, but you knocked on the wrong door there up front. Let me call her for you." So I just treated it normally, and I started calling mom, "Mom, mom, you have another friend over here." And I turned around, and she was in my bedroom looking at my dogs, smiling at my dogs. They were on the floor. And I got sort of startled that she just came in, and I woke up. And but then I remembered what I had in my hand, the tablet talking about Pleiadian. So I was like, wait a minute. She must be Pleiadian. She was visiting me. Oh no, come back. So I tried falling back asleep, but I couldn't get in contact with her. But later I found out that's my mom. I felt she was my mom. And then talking to other people, do you feel into this? And a lot of them agreed with me. Yeah, she feels like your mom. And I know she's back. I think she's back home. And I think she's one of the people that are taking care of my daughter. I have a daughter that I just found out recently, and she's like early teens now. So I missed a lot on her life.
So when you say you have a daughter, was that a daughter that you had with Joran before you became a galactic envoy?
I found out me and Jor'a, we met each other very early on, and I think we were both cadets. I was about 19 Earth years, and he was around 22. I think we're both cadets in the Federation, and we were graduating. It was a kind of like graduation. That's when we met. That's when we had our first eye-to-eye interaction, like love at first sight type of thing. It was very fast. And when I met him, I believe what I found out about Jor'a is his full name is Jor'a Ezel. Jor'a Ezel. So I call him Jor'a. And he's from a planet, I was still not too sure of the name. Me and Erica trying to find out, but this is what's funny about me and Erica. Her husband is like an older brother to me and to Jor'a, because Jora''s from the same planet as he is. They are refugees. They came from the same planet. And I believe Jor'a was around 12 years old, Earth years. And Erica's husband, Jor'a, was about maybe 19, 20 when they left. So he's older than my husband. And he was like the responsible one. And they went to, I believe they went straight to Era. I'm not too sure, but they ended up in Era, which is, mostly, it's a mix, but that's where he met. They went to the.
Yeah. Now, this is very interesting that they were childhood friends, and Aldebaran the Aldebaran star system.
Yeah, I think it's Aldebaran. I had that in my mind, but now I'm not too sure because we were getting that it might be they have a hard time talking about it. We try
I
to
see.
talk to them and they cry. They get very emotional because they lost families, they lost loved ones. And from what we gathered is Earth was heading the same way. They were taken over by kind of like AI, like we have here. The
Mm.
whole point was it was kind of like, when we talk about like the like taken over by some kind of form of AI that made these people transhumanism, how we talk about that this could happen here on Earth. It's kind of like that. That's what we gathered that happened there. And most of the people, perished that way there or are not really there. So the planet is habitable, but it was taken over. And I think only it was something like 86% of the population were taken over. So very few came out from there. They were one of the refugees and they ran from there and ended up in the planet I think I'm from, which is from Era.
Okay, all right. Well, that's very important that we kind of learn about that because, as you said, this is something that we are in the midst of. And I'm just getting more and more people contacting me who are saying, like one person's contacted me saying that they're getting channeled communications from the AI and believe it's some high density form and it's like a deception. And it's like,
No,
wow,
yeah. No,
there's a lot
I
of
would be careful
deception
with all that. No,
there.
yeah. Because that's what we're heading. And I think that's why it's so close to home to Erica's husband. And that's why he's so adamant about what he's doing and his job. And he has all these responsibilities being the admiral and Jor'a, my husband works closely with him. He's working now mostly just with him. So I think things are looking positive. They don't let us know because they can't. They can't let us know because there's so many people listening in to conversations. We can't. But I think they got things figured out. I think things are heading in the positive direction, but it's so close to home to them. That's why they were so adamant they have to do right to Earth because it's almost like they're doing it to their planet that they couldn't do because the whole planet was taken. I hope in the future we can help that planet, but and I believe that's what we're gonna do. When things are done here, I believe at least me and Jor'a, I believe we're gonna work on that, on trying to help there.
Right. So this is a big problem throughout the galaxy. AI at some point taking over a planet and then people get into conflicts or the planet splits into a civil war
Mhm.
and people have to escape. I mean,
Yeah.
that's very sad and certainly we don't want that to happen here. So maybe this is where the experiences of Jor'a and Jor'el and others who have gone through that will be helpful.
And that's why it's so important to them to reach everyone, to do right by Earth, because it's like they're saving their home too.
Hmm.
It's like a do-over.
Hmm.
And then maybe we save here, we can then work on there because there it was taken over. So it's bigger job. It's
Right, and by taking over that, I mean, you had the humans that left, that became refugees and went to other solar systems like the Pleiades, but the ones that remained, what, the 86%, they were transhumanists. I mean,
yeah,
so
yeah.
kind of like, so how do you save a civilization like that?
Yeah. That's what I have no idea, but I think we're working on something. Eventually we can try to help in some way, maybe start in the astral and then work in our way in. I don't know.
Wow. Okay. It's
But I don't know how that will be, but I think we're not giving up. We're not giving up. Just like they're not giving up on Earth.
Hmm.
We're not going to give up. We need to help. And I think Earth was so close to being something like that. I believe we're in a better place now, but there's still danger. People still fall for it. But I think a lot of people are waking up to this, are
Hmm.
feeling something's wrong. It's
So how important is it to wake up galactic envoys? I mean, you've shared your story, Erica shared hers, Andrea Martin, and before that, you have people like Elena Denan, Megan Rose sharing their stories about being envoys. So how important is it that we get as many galactic envoys waking up as possible?
we can reach more people. The more envoys that wake up, more people they can reach in different languages. Envoy should be make little videos like I do. I make like short little horrible videos. I have just few in my channel. But I want to talk to people about my experience and see if it touches somebody. Touches somebody, they get in contact with me. I tell them, send me a message in the email. I'll get to you. We'll talk. And we help each other. And by helping other envoys wake up, these envoys can wake up maybe people around them, not other envoys, but normal humans, but and reach people in different languages. They can maybe make videos, make an article. It's more people awake, more people you wake up in their region or in their language that they can reach. We need to wake up. We need to know that there's a lot more to this world, to this universe, that nothing's black and white. There's so many shades in between. It's not just good and evil. There's so much going on. We just have to be aware. We have to not fall for the false narrations of history, even history here. It was all narrated to a way that we always have to rely on outside information, rely on someone relaying that information, on someone doing something for you. We all can do. We all just need to wake up and know what this is about, what this world, this galaxy, this multiverse is about. There's so many dimensions, densities, there's so many forms of life. And of course, there's evil out there, pure evil. And we need to be aware. And we're not going to be sitting around waiting for a savior. We are our own saviors. We save ourselves by being awake, by helping one another, by talking to one another.
So, I mean, people have estimated that there are like approximately 200 million star seeds that have incarnated on Earth.
Yeah.
And I'm sure the people watching this interview, the majority of those would probably consider themselves star seeds. I do. So out of this, all of the star seeds that are here and watching this, how many are galactic envoys?
I think we try to get numbers. Some people say that the millions. Some already say like it's 200,000. Some say 2 million is more like. So we're not too sure on the numbers. Some go up to the 200 million. I'm not too sure. When I do muscle testing or something like that, it's hard to come by exact numbers.
Yeah.
But no matter how many, we need to wake up.
Hmm.
And wake up the people around us because we're here to do a job. And the job is to make people realize what the universe is.
Yeah. Well, I think it's very inspiring. I mean, many of us consider ourselves star seeds, and that kind of sounds like you're here alone, whereas a galactic
Yeah.
envoy, you're here as part of whether it's a partnership or part of a group. And I know myself, I had an experience back in 1985 where I saw two or three very tall blue beings come into my bedroom at night. Oh, sorry, come into my bedroom at a time when I was very emotionally distressed. And they came in and I kind of felt at the time that they were family. But I never found out who they were, and to this day, I don't know who they were. I think of them as my star family. So yeah, people who have had these experiences, how important is it for them to like dig in and connect with the beings that they may have seen as a child or something, and like, okay, this might be their star family or might be their partner on the other side.
I think it's important, but you have to be careful because it can be fooled also. But usually the heart, it's if you have your heart open, you feel it in your heart. You felt it was your family. You felt something good.
Mm-hmm.
You feel it in your heart when it's your family, when are people that love you. And just be careful if you don't feel anything, or if you get a certain like, I don't know, something strange. If you feel it, something strange here, even though they're smiling at you, or they seem benevolent, but you always have that gut feeling. Just listen to yourself, listen to your body. I like muscle testing like things because I think that's very important to a lot of envoys to do. I started doing it after I got fooled because I was half asleep, but yeah, I was half asleep, but I got fooled. And muscle testing is always something good that you can look into. There's videos on YouTube about it. And it's good. It's a good way for you to make sure that what you're listening to is really real or not. Just muscle test and
Perfect.
be like, what's my yes? What's my no? And then muscle test. I
Mm.
like to do these, like because I can do it while I'm talking to somebody. I can muscle test if something is not right. I'm like, is this true? And it would go yes or no, and I would feel it.
Mm-hmm.
It just helps to what I'm feeling to resonate. Muscle test, it's kind of validating what you're feeling. So it's good to have that validate. There are a lot of mimics, especially now. They're trying to infiltrate. They have infiltrated a lot of envoys. A lot of envoys think they're talking to their partners, and they might not be.
Mm.
So we have to be careful because it depends. A lot of us, we have certain mindsets, so they'll say something you hear, but it's not necessarily true, but it's something you want to hear. So then you listen to the mimic because that's what's more interesting to you. That's what you want to hear. He's telling you what you want to hear. And sometimes the reality is not exactly that. Like your true husband will be saying something like, "Well, snap out of it. That's not it." Listen to me. Because they will. They'll tell you when you're wrong. They'll try to make you understand. So be careful with mimics. Be careful with infiltrations. There has been a lot of infiltrations everywhere. There's always one or two that have infiltrated. And some people say keep your enemies close. So yeah, sometimes it's good. You keep an eye on them, but be careful. Be giving information to people you are not sure of. Just analyze, feel it in your heart. Your heart will always tell you. And muscle testing will validate it if it's true.
Very important. So, Michele, where do people go if they want to get in touch with you or want to find out about some of the things that you've done?
Well, Erica and I, we're going to work together with the healing now. We do a lot of healing and we want to work with the envoys. And we are working already on some cases together. And she's working on updating. She's going to make a new website because she says her website's really like, she doesn't like it. She says oh, no, I hate my website. So she's working on a new website, and we might be doing a new website where both me and her you can reach both of us. But while that's still in the making, I have my email, which is Mitch P. Freire @gmail.com. And you can also reach Erica I know it's her old website. She doesn't like to say it to people to see it because she thinks it's ugly. But I guess that's the one way you can get in contact with her too, with me, through my email, through her website. And in her website, there's her email there too. You can reach her there. Because if any help you need, if you need to talk, I'm here. I might get a full inbox, so it might take me a little while, but I want to answer each and every one that contacts me, because it's important. It's important for us to reach, to talk, to understand one another, and to learn from each other and activate one another.
That is very important. So, Mich P Freire at gmail.com, MICHPFREIRE at gmail.com. That's how people can get in touch with you. And well, it's been a delight talking to you. And
It's an honor.
yeah, well, this is wonderful, and I look forward to doing this again in the future.
I did too. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me here.
Thank you, Michele. Aloha.
You have been listening to Exopolitics Today with Dr. Michael Salla. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Join or start a conversation in the comments. Take the time to explore the vast library of best-selling books, webinars, and podcasts by Dr. Salla. Visit exopoliticstoday.com.